Okay, and share the screen, and let's see how to make the best out of today. Height and slideshow. The previous talk on Tuesday, my first webinar ever. It was scary, exciting, thrilling, all of it at once. I talked a lot. There was barely no interaction with the audience. So today I will try to do it's on the other side of the spectrum, be very introductionally, very interactive. So today we're going to talk about what could go wrong and why this is this topic. Software quality is prevented and not assured, really. Testing is too late. Testing after anything is written, deployed, created, it's too late. There are a lot of things, especially in every team. Not everyone in every team have started coding yesterday, if you know what I mean. There's always someone who has built software before. We are users ourselves. There are a lot of common sense in software development and in the way software behave. However, we kind of forget about this. We, as engineers, are very brave. We can build everything for 2 days. Nothing can stop us. And then real life happens. When real life happens, we cannot be prepared for it. Apparently, I just did something, you know, the users will say, I didn't do anything, but it broke. Well, I didn't do anything and my Mac broke 2 minutes before, well, actually already 1 minute into the time of the meeting. So life happens, we cannot be prepared for it. That's why let's try to prepare for everything we can and to come up with as many potential risks, quality issues, production issues, anything we can come up in terms of brainstorming, in terms of imagination, in terms of our own experience, using everything we have as knowledge, skills, personal skills, technical skills, hobbies, families, friends, anything we know. We are people are complex, and so we come up with a lot of skills, not only coding or testing. Let's use all of this as a team, because 2 heads think better than 1, and come up early with as many things we can figure out and imagine that can go wrong with our software. It sounds too much. However, there are some techniques and we can try and we can see what works best for our team. But the bottom line is to do that early before anything is written. So today, I have prepared 3 actually close to real user stories, not really mind up. If you have yours, let's try yours on the spot and see what could go wrong things we can come up for 5-10 minutes, probably a lot. Okay. 2 minutes about me. Today I was watching a video from Nathan Gold about how to get your audience attention for 30 seconds. Because I want to start being very interesting public speaker. So he mentioned an article, and I will forget the name, called "Get to the Wow." So how to wow your audience. And here's how I'll try to wow you today. Who am I? I try and I want to fix the bugs in your software before you make them, because it's expensive. And again, there are too many of them, which we could have, if not prevented, at least been aware of them. Now, add them to the known issues section before we release the software, not after we release the software, and not letting our users find them. I've been finding and fixing bugs in software for 16 years. I believe in a whole process approach, whole full picture process approach to quality assurance, starting early, thinking about the entire software development process, and if it's a kind to result in high quality software, or it's mess, not efficient, and we waste time. I want to help teams not being lost in translation about software quality and testing. There are small teams, bigger teams, regardless of the size, regardless of the industry, regardless of the domain. There's so many unknowns about software, and the quality of software is getting worse day by day. And we as users are getting used to poor software and buggy software day by day. I don't want to see that. I want to help somehow with talks, with courses, with consulting, help more teams to think about quality early, to commit to quality early, to be aware of what level of quality their users want to pay for, and what level of quality they as a team and vendors are ready to deliver to their users, and just do it. Not 3-4 years after the software is already built. Oh, okay, now it's time to think about a testing team because we have some production issues. Well, you've wasted a lot. It's not too late, but you could have started it earlier. I'm a Solid Rock and a Liverpool fan too. That's why the guitar. I tried to learn to play. I'm not very consistent, so I don't play the guitar, but it's one of the dreams when I grow old. All right, let's do a small exercise. Have you done this before? Joanna and Georgi, if you're available.
Sorry, I was just moving. Which exercise?
The one on the screen.
Which one? I don't think so.
All right. Today, I'm going to bother you a lot today. So be prepared. It's a very interactive session. So we'll work together. if you're expected to sit and listen, it's not going to happen today. Oh, hello. All right. 15 seconds to read what's on the screen. Just read it as text. Don't try to come up with any meaning of it. Just read it as text. All right. Now, how many Fs were you able to count? Here's the text again. 10 seconds. Try to count the Fs. There, it's pretty easy. If you're ready, you can just type it in the chat, or wait a second to tell me on the next screen. So how many Fs?
I think I saw 3.
I'm so glad.
Two as well.
But there's 6.
Ah, so many.
This exercise has many interpretations. How it works for me today is that what I started with. Different people have different experiences, background, the circumstances around us. Is it Friday morning or is it Friday evening? Where we are exactly? Are we tired? Are we pumped up, excited? Sometimes when I'm in the state I'm right now, I cannot do anything without the presentation and the slides because I'm really pumped up and I need something to keep me focused. Sometimes when I'm very, when I've been focused for a couple of hours, I don't need, oh, please go for your coffee. I can make a break for you to make coffee. That's absolutely okay. Then we're good. Otherwise, I will not proceed if you didn't have any. So that's why I want us as a team to work to show how working as a team and using all our knowledge, background, and experiences and skills to not let ourselves end up in this situation. When we release, after we release, especially after we've released, I've seen too many developers and myself looking like the guy with the red wine. Oh, it's after we just released. Let's have fun. And then, oh my God, I forgot about it. It happens daily. It happens to thousands of developers worldwide. Yes, it can happen, of course. We cannot prevent anything, but we can try to prepare as much as we can. How to prepare? As I said, we developers, software engineers, people in software, marketing, sales, let's go for it. We're brave. We want to deliver. We want to change the world. We want to make our users' life better. We want to make a good amount of money out of it. We don't want to hear anyone talking about bugs and problems. And probably that's why many startups start thinking about testing 2, 3, 4 years after they've already had a product, after they've already had some revenue and customers, because they're brave. They want to go for it. They don't want to think about later or think about problems. They want to now, they want to think about problems later. However, to save money, to make sure you are not making quick and dirty solutions, to make sure your ground is solid, your foundations of your software and your team are solid, you need to embrace the fear that something will go wrong. It will go wrong. It's inevitable. And it could be a small rock that turned the entire cart, or it could be a bigger issue. It will go wrong. So, oh, somebody's, okay, all right. So let's embrace the fear, because if we don't think about quality early and we go for quick solutions and we don't want to hear anything warning or alerting, then the cost of the bug fix is on the picture. It's a famous chart. If you type in Google the cost of bug fixing, it's one of the testing laws and the testing principles. The later you fix something in the software, the more expensive it is. Why? Because you've already spent all your resources on requirements, development, testing, production, releasing, and then you find something on production, something that could have been a requirement, something that could have been caught on tech review, something that could have been tested earlier. You've already spent all this time, money, man hours, whatever you count. So when we embrace the fear and we embrace the fact and we celebrate the fact that we're different people with different backgrounds and different skills, expertise, knowledge and mood. Now, if someone is so pumped like me, I'm also very brave right now. I don't want to talk about anything. I will look for the opportunities, how to make it better, not so much how to break it. If I'm tired, depressed, and stressed, then I will be more eager to think about the negative, try to break it, try to crush it, think about the actual thing that will break the software. So we should also embrace our human state at the moment, and it can help us deliver better quality, regardless of whether if I'm in a bad or worse mood. It can also help. We as teams should celebrate this and use it and cherish it. So for me, the best testing tools are heavy early analysis and tight collaboration. How to do that? Let's pause for a second. And because Friday night, I will do something very unprofessional. I will sip from my beer.
Cheers.
Cheers. So let's try to do an exercise. That's a story we talked about on our previous on Tuesday when we were talking about high quality user stories. And in short, I suggest that we start reframing and rephrasing the way we write user stories from what our users are potentially wanting to achieve with these stories to what we as a user, as company, as developers, as product managers, customer support, sales, marketing, CEOs, whoever we are from the company or as a company as a whole, how do we want our users to feel when they use our software? Why are we making it? And how is the job done for the users? And they're happy, satisfied, feel good about it, or the job is done, but it's so tedious and boring, and the way this software works is just, I don't want to use it anymore, but I'm stuck with it, for example. So how our user feels is very, very important, and it can drive the entire conversation about the feature in a much more comprehensive and thorough manner. So let's try this one and see how it goes. What could go wrong? The user story is like this. Everyone is selling something to someone. So there's an account management. It's regardless of the domain. It's regardless of what we're selling. It could be solar panels. It could be software. It could be platform as a service. It could be anything. It could be chairs. I, as an account manager, I want my users to feel special and taken care of when I send them a discount code for their loyalty. So it should be easy. They should be, okay, I'll ask you first because I already started to analyze it. I can't help it. What could go wrong? Let's not start, as you saw, even just by instinct, I started to think how to build it, how to make it right, how to create it, how to deliver the need, the software that my account manager needs. I think positively, but we have to stop for a second and invest and spend 10 minutes. Today we will spend 2 minutes probably, but usually spend 10, 15, half an hour as a team to think about what could go wrong first. So if you're online, I see Joanna, and if Georgi is also online, let's think for 10, 20 seconds. I like it. Awesome. Friday night. What could go wrong with that story? Imagine the software. You can imagine the software. It's not that untraditional or unconventional. Let's think.
I think the first problem is that we don't have control what in what environment the user is. I mean, if the user is tired after a long day or frustrated before that.
So the account manager can make a mistake or cannot even think about creating a discount code for their user, for example, because they just want to get that process, and it might be a long discussion before that, a long lead, and they've been courting them for what's the word in English? Trying to get them to buy for a long time, and they just want to get that signed. Absolutely. So how this changes the way we will create the software? It should be one big red button. Send them a discount, part of their script, part of the way they work. It should be part of their process. So only by thinking about it. I have a follow-up on this. Joanna, what comes to your mind first? What could go wrong with that simple software feature?
So many things. I guess it depends on, how you're sending this out and how the person is receiving it. Like if it's via a text message, like sometimes I don't like getting text messages. I would rather get an email. If you're sending me an email, is my name in it? Is my name right? Those sorts of things.
How often do you get your name wrong, right?
Yeah.
Almost every time. Okay, you have it in your system. Why? Because they do it manually, because they don't have it in their system. They might have it in their system, but then there's another system. Like when I go to one of the banks I use, every time I go to the bank, I have to confirm my email, because they have 5 places where they write when they store that email. Simple as that. How does it make me feel as a user?
Not very good.
it comes to software.
Definitely frustrated.
Okay, awesome. Exactly. See, we were talking about how the user feels, and we already think about extending our software, so we integrate text messaging, or we make sure the customer data is integrated, because this is something we want to make them feel special. So it means we're working on, we'll have to work on features that make sure it's really customer centric, because we don't know where and also as an account managers, something that I've seen recently, we automate business processes. This is one of the major software features there, to automate some work. What I see though is that rushing into time to market and launching the software, we forget that first, what's the simple, there's a simple rule about test automation that probably many business people are not aware of. When we talk about test automation, we want to automate repetitive, simple, repetitive tasks, things that manual tester or a tester who does the work manually will have to do it every day, and they will have to do one and the same thing every day. This is not a work that a human should do. Why? Because again, we're complex people with complex background, skills, knowledge, and we should use them to solve complex problems, not to repeat one and the same task daily. What I see in business process automation, or in most software that are out there right now, that fit enterprise software and software that solves complex business processes, that automate complex business processes, is that not the repetitive tasks are automated, but the most complex ones, the ones that are really up to the people. So when we automate business processes, the first thing is that the business process should be supported, all of it, and especially the tedious repetitive tasks. And second, the software should improve that business process. So this is a follow-up in terms of I as account management. If it's Friday night and I want to get that customer signed already, it should be, I should not think about it. The software should guide me to do that. Did you forget to send them? There is a complete button, and the simple thing to do is, did you forget to send them the discount code? Even though if it's after the signature, the signage, the customer will feel better already. Oh, okay. Now I'm really glad that I signed with them, because they also, as an extra 2 months or something additional, there are plenty of scenarios we can come up with. So awesome. I liked it. The two of you, do you have something in your mind, a story in your mind that we can try to play? Something from your backlog or whatever. I can open space for it.
I mean, the only thing that we'll be working on next week is there's a company that's doing a small site redesign. So they're moving a bunch of stuff around, and they're going to be, using that for kind of the marketing push for, the holiday season to drive more business.
All right.
So I don't have like a user story, but that's sort of the space that I'll be operating in.
In my experience, the small redesigns are the things where too many things can go wrong.
Yeah.
For the holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
Site redesign. Okay, so I'm the customer. I'm going to open the site, and I want to be attracted by your new design and buy and start buying. So you want me to feel or eager to buy. You want me to go to your store, or and probably let's try to formalize, to bring that to our new formula about new pattern. So I, as an e-commerce site, for example, I'm just mining it up. So if something's not really how it's written, did I make it like this? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know how to write this word. I, as e-commerce site, or what am I? Designer, site designer, because that's the front end and the designer, and I really want the team to feel the user and to put themselves in the user shoes. Want my customer users, because I'm doing this for another team, to want to buy more because of the new redesigns. This is kind of blunt, but we can, you know where I'm going. I, as a team, or we as a team, as the people who are making it, we want to understand how the end users are going to feel when they see the new design, how they're going to use it. We're making it for them, not for the sponsor of this task, because apparently the store wants to get more sales. That's clear. If I write the story like this, I, as an e-commerce company, want to sell more. I, as software tester, don't care at all if you want to sell more. Everybody wants to sell more. It tells me nothing. I want to, but I will go then on Black Friday or whenever. I'll open the site because I want, whomever I am, I will go to the site and I'll see this fantastic new design. And we should do this for our customers, because this, I just want to buy these mugs. I have 20,000 mugs, but I love this mug. They see how beautiful they have created it. Now I want to go and make tea. How the user feel, and then the design is amazing, and then I proceed to order, and I go away, because the order process and workflow is the worst I've ever seen. The front page is amazing, and then the order process is just bad. I know, okay, I'm heavily disappointed. I will never open this site again, even though we've redesigned the front page. We've made really nice, we've changed the colors and the font, and it's funny, but the actual workflow will probably not be considered, and it's probably a third-party workflow, and it's still the worst. What could go wrong according to you then? I already, biased you a little bit, but
yeah, no. One of the things that I guess I'm most concerned about is people who have been existing customers coming back and either not being able to find what they want or what they need, or getting frustrated because everything's changed and they're just not, prepared to deal with a new looking website.
this is very, very good point. Very good point. Very often not very often, every time, even though it's better, we tend to be reserved because we're used to it. It's the tragedy of change management. It's the tragedy of new versions. Even though it's better, it could be the users that are used to it will be, oh, they change it again. If they're really loyal and they like the service, they will stay. But some might really move away. How to solve it? Keep the user experience. It might look differently, but it should feel the same. I would, that's what I would try to balance. It should be really much more attractive, but it should, okay, this is I know this site. It's I know how it works. It's they haven't broken it. They haven't made it worse. It's still the site that I love to use and I love to shop. I did also try to make something new that's working. That's working better this time. Hello, we have a new guest. Hello, are you there, Dimitar?
Yes, hello, I'm here.
Nice to meet you. Welcome. To catch you
Yeah,
up,
nice to meet you as well.
we talked why we should embrace the fear and start thinking about what could go wrong with our new features early as a team. Why as a team? Because we have different skills, backgrounds, knowledge, and expertise to head think better than one. And instead of rushing into building the thing and making it work, we should very early on user story level think about what could go wrong first. And we've made we're right now actually making exercises, and I would, if you're available and in the mood, I would also like to for you to jump in and share what you think can go wrong. Joanna shared a work they're about to do next week, a small redesign for a site to attract customers, more customers during the holiday season. And we were talking about what could go wrong with that seemingly small task.
Well, that sounds interesting. I'm sorry that I'm a bit late for the event, but
No problem.
I tried to join it from my phone, but for some reason it didn't allow me to. So yeah, that's an interesting topic, especially for QAs, developers.
If you're about to do this task and you receive this story, what do you think what comes to your mind first? What could go wrong with it's a redesign, front-end redesign of an e-commerce site, a marketing campaign?
Okay, let me just have a look into it.
What comes to your mind?
What could go wrong? Well, for example, if too many users won't buy more because of the new redesign. If we're talking about a website, for example, our hosting provider might not be able to take the load, take the high traffic. If more and more people come to visit the website, for example, it is more likely for some of them to experience 500 internal server error or something like that.
500. It usually doesn't come with because of performance issues, but
yeah,
that's an amazing point. And something that we tend to forget is the non-functional, so-called non-functional qualities, and performance is the most popular of them. Indeed, if the old site has balanced, of course, with cloud infrastructure and with proper plans, and if there's already a working site, probably we know how many users are using it. Usually, it's not the first. But we need to ask, definitely. That's what we should do. Do we expect huge, because it's a marketing campaign and the marketing team have some targets to hit, and probably they expect that we're investing in this new website and the new redesign because we expect 10 times more users to come and visit the site. And if it's really 10 times their expectation, and this information can be absolutely missed when it comes to the user story. When this user story comes to the development team, what are the marketing team expectations is something completely different. It's probably considered irrelevant because we just want to make the new design. These are the mockups. Let's do it, simple as that. And then suddenly it turns out that that these designs will increase 20–30% the users, and our infrastructure was just not prepared. And that's why when we talk about, that's why the heavy collaborations mean collaboration also mean collaboration from all departments. We need everyone at the table. We need the salespeople, we need the marketing people, we need infrastructure, we need developers, we need testers, we need designers. We need them not as a kickoff, but an actual session where we will talk about what could go wrong or what should go right. Get them together and collect all this information. Why are we doing it? And what are the actual outcomes for us, for the product, for the company, for our customers, for their users? All these perspectives are very often they're just digested by the product managers, or just, the product managers know all about this, but very often they spare it for the developers because they consider it's not relevant for the engineers and it's not relevant to the technical solution. Yes, it is. Yes, it is relevant, and it's amazingly, especially for the non-functional characteristics, it's very, very, very useful. We have a user entered. I would be very happy if that's a tester by all means, that someone will test software. I would be happy if, hello, user, would you be so kind to introduce yourself? And then I'll catch you up. User, probably not. Okay. See, it was a simple redesign, and then we came up with the non-functional expectations, and we managed to align the marketing expectations and targets with that redesign, with the non-functional expectations. So that's the power of working together and thinking about what could go wrong, even though it sounds unrelated. But anything that comes to your mind will happen in real life, because real life is undeterministic. Awesome. I will move to, I will skip the next one, and I will move to a little bit of theory. Quality is a set of quality characteristics, and there are 55 of them. I've identified 55 of them. Today, I'll only share the major groups and try to, because what we're doing here is actually asking what are the qualities that we want to achieve for our software? What could go wrong? In other words, is for which qualities we want to invest, which qualities we want to prioritize, which qualities are important for this feature, so that the feature is not short of these qualities and nothing goes wrong. Functionality, when we talk about functionality, and it's usually everything we talk about, but it's only one small piece of the quality of the software. Functionality is about whether the software works correct and whether it's the right software. Is it really what we needed to do, and will it do the job the right way? Very often, especially B2B companies, try to solve problems with software that should not be solved with software at all. And we are kind of fixating on software, but it's not only about software. And even though we cannot live without software, sometimes it's not about the software, it's about the process and the business process that needs to be improved, made more efficient, tweaked a little bit, changed. That will deliver the same value for our customer, or something that will do the job without software. We very rarely think about it, and it's another topic. And then we talk, that's all about functionality. Is it working correct? Is it the right functionality? All of it. That's it. But then it's the whole universe of non-functional, the so-called non-functional quality characteristics. And this is where everything can go wrong. My favorite one and the most overlooked one is the maintainability. Is this piece of software solid, robust, maintainable? Can we easily extend it? Can we easily modify it? Can we easily build on top of it? Something that is completely overlooked is it easy to troubleshoot and fix potential issues? This is one of the quality characteristics that is missing all over the software world, and it makes it so expensive to maintain, to fix bugs, and to deliver continuously high quality software. Even today, with in the era of DevOps, we're still lacking so much maintainability because we do quick and dirty things, and we always rush into it. Good technical designs. And as part of today's bonuses, I will send you in the follow-up email a technical solution checklist with all these maintainability characteristics, with all these quality characteristics, things that you go through them and ask as team, will my technical solution meet the quality expectations? Are we building it the way that it's actually maintainable, extensible, and so forth and so forth? Performance and security are huge topics. I will only mention them because now, thanks to Dimitar, we talked about performance. It's not only how many users, it's about how much data. It's about the so-called sequence in which the software is loaded. It's, you know, sometimes it's depending on the software, it could be easy mornings and busy news, or it could be busy mornings and easy evenings, and it depends on the load. The software will behave different. And now with that marketing campaign, there will be so-called spikes. Immediately there will be a campaign like in Bulgaria. There is a famous kindergarten registration case 10 years ago, when it turned out that they couldn't handle more than 3,000 registrations at once, for example, and there are kind of more kids in Sofia. So what are the spikes? Nobody tests for spikes because it's a little bit expensive, and definitely nobody tests for performance early. And we should, at least we should be asking, what are the performance expectations? And for example, and we'll see with the data, with the last one. Usability, I will just say it, does it feel good? If it feels good, then that's all. What good means depends on the user. Data, again, data is one of the things that you will very rarely see anything about data in a user story. Very rarely, because it's considered a technical thing, unless we're working with data and that's our main domain, and we're Tableau or any other big data company. Unless we're really focused on data, nobody talks about data. And then it turns out that we're not handling data well. We cannot build test environments because of we're collecting data from various places, for example. We don't persist the data. It's not unique. It's accessible, but it takes 2 minutes to build that report, and it crashes every other time because it's too much data and the query is not optimized. It's not trustworthy because it's too many places are managing and manipulating it, and we don't know if it's the right data. And it happens, it sounds, me, it's kind of sound not unacceptable, but completely out of logic and common sense, but it happens that the data is not trustworthy, and we need to work with that data. So it's not only about precision, it's not only uniqueness. There are 30 more qualities of data that, if, of course, we cannot run through all of them, but if we know that they're there only, it builds a routine, it builds a good habit to consider them early for every story that we imagine, because software is about creating data, manipulating data, disposing data. What every tester will do is to create a data object, manipulate it, delete it, and I already mentioned that on our previous talk, and try to access it again. And it always crashes. So data is crucial. It's the center, for me, it's the center of software development. And we talked about how data is presented, how each piece of information on the screen is presented and manipulated and transferred further. We talk about it very, very rarely, unless there is a tester to do that. Something about the timeliness of the data. Is it, can we access it when we need it? And is it the current data or it's old data? And how often that data is updated? Data management is a crucial part of software development right now. And we should care about data in every story. I could probably come with some data considerations with our redesign story as well, even though it looks marketing front end UX only. No, there's a lot of data there as well. All right. All of these will be available for you in something that I'm still refining and seeing what's best working. And you will get the link too. I want to make it a Miro verse template. For now, it's only for shared users. I call it a quality map. And it's all of these functionalities just built in 3 blocks, in 3 frames, so that it's accessible, available for every story. I want to try to see teams that will try it out. I have tried it with 1 team only so far, to run through user stories and features on refinement meetings or whatever meetings you have to discuss new features, new stories. Pick those qualities that will be important for that story, or not pick, but ask, do we care about, let's see something, I don't know, recognizability of the user interface. What means recognizability? I'm sorry. I know what this software does. I've seen that software before. I know what it means. I can relate to it. And yes, it will serve my needs. For example, just anyone. It might be for the user campaign, for the marketing campaign, but it might be not relevant for software that users will get trained to use. If it's an enterprise software, if it's an insurance software and it only works for the insurance brokers, then I as whatever else I'm doing, I don't care about it. I will be trained to use it. So whether it's recognizable for me is not relevant, but they will recognize it after they get trained. And again, if it follows the fit for purpose, and yes, this is the software that supports their business process, yes, it will be recognizable, but we should consider it. So for some software, quality and testing are context dependent. And the context is, there are a lot of, that's another talk I plan to do. What is the context? It's business, product, financial, and many other contexts about that define what quality strategy we should pick. But these qualities are standard, and the standard is called, some of you know it, ISO 25010. I've actually only collected them and added some, and from here and there, and from my experience. But this is there's a standard. I will actually share it to you. Let's see, I have it open because it's my only on my desktop. You know, I see it. I look at it all the time because this is quality. All of these are qualities, and I've translated them into a Miro board. So I want people to start using them, to start understanding what is quality. It's not only if I click this, then I see this. No, it's not only that. It's how long I wait until I see this. It's where this thing is stored, saved, transferred, changed, etc., etc., etc. So this Miro board is to decide which functional, non-functional qualities, data qualities are important, essential, critical, crucial for your feature in particular, which of them we want to make sure are absolute musts, and we will work on them, and we will analyze further how our software will comply and will meet these quality requirements, and then just prioritize them and add them. Okay, for us, the persistence of the data is crucial. Then it's the reliability, because we're building something with data. Data, as you see, it's something I'm fond of. There's no actual special user interface or user-facing functionality. It's about data. Then we do something with this data. It doesn't matter. The accuracy might, no, it's see in this example, the accuracy is number 3. It is crucial, it's important, but first we need to store it. Then we need to make sure that it's not lost, it's reliable, it comes from the right places, it's not, its integrity is preserved. Then we will see if it's correct. And then, because it's an internal environment, it's offline, it's under heavy doors, locked doors, nobody will have access to it because of physical security, for example, or whatever other means of security, but it's also critical. So then we'll make sure that it's also secured in various other ways. So this, knowing what high quality software means for your feature, can really change the way we analyze software, we deliver software, we prioritize software, we prioritize the efforts. I actually tend to promote this quality map as something that will replace the planning poker, because it's not important, or not, it's important, but it's not enough to ask developers how long it will take, how complex it is. It's actually important to understand where the complexity comes from. It comes from to break that complexity down and to make it into qualities and to make it aware to everyone interested, to the marketing team that expect 20% increase. If they expect 20% increase, then they need to know that we need to pay for more storage to persist the data, and we need to pay for more infrastructure to make sure it's reliable all the time, and it's for more RAM, for example, or other resource to make sure that it's accessible and the data is current and the catalog of that store is accessible, for example, and etc., etc. So there are a lot of perspectives, and yes, they are a lot, but they will save us even more if we analyze them early. Questions? Let's pause for a second. We're 2 minutes into the time. If you have time, let's take 10 more minutes. And I think we're wrapping up. But I want to make sure these things are done.
Yeah, no, it's a good point that you make about prioritization, because there is so much, you know, there's a lot that you can do in testing and quality, and it's really about like what's most important to you for that particular, you know, for that particular feature, or you know, however you're looking at it. And that's like, yeah, I think that's one of the best approaches to figuring out, you know, scope of testing too, especially if you have a hard deadline coming up, like some sort of marketing campaign or something else. Like, you can only do so much. So what do we want to do first, and what's going to be the biggest risk?
Yes, yes. When we're in a hurry, we miss things, we omit them, we forget about them. We're focusing on making it work, on meeting the deadline. On Tuesday, we're talking about how to make sure we work faster without cutting scope and without cutting quality. That's for that in a second. But that's why this I want to promote these Miro boards, because everyone works with Miro boards, and it's kind of a drill down feature. Now, if you don't care about compatibility, whatever it means, something in particular, but if you don't care, then you don't zoom in. You move to the next. So I want to come up, probably, I don't know, in the next year, I'll change this 20 times. That's really the first version, but only knowing that there is that functional work, that working functional functionality is only one portion, the correctness, the completeness, which is the scope usually, and the appropriateness, which is the fit for purpose, is only one thing, one quality, 10% of the entire quality structure or map, or I don't know how to call it, of the software. Already makes you ask question, what could go wrong? And do we care about maintainability? Can we sacrifice it? And which maintainability exactly? Do we care about performance? Which performance exactly can we sacrifice it now? Already asking these questions makes you aware of what is the state of the quality. And if you list it if you write okay, today it's out of the scope, performance, it's out of the scope because this and this, but we will deal with it next month because it's important, or it's not important at all. It already makes you aware of potential risks, and you're already more prepared about real life that will happen. That only having this, and I've never seen a team being so thorough about quality risks and characteristics, and having a really early commitment to all of the qualities. And by commitment, I don't mean let's assure all of this is working, but let's talk about them early. Just ask ourselves, do we care about portability? No, it's not applicable to this feature in particular, or to the entire software, which is rare. Usually a software as a system holds all of these, just different features or modules have the different qualities more expressed or sought after. All right, okay. Something that I only want to mention, it's a little out of the scope for the talk, but I want to mention when it comes to testing, and after we've come up with all these, let's say we've come up with the quality risk, we have a quality strategy, something to speed up. It's really out of the talk, but I want to mention it now. Someday we'll exercise it in another webinar. Try daily team task testing breakdown. What does it mean? Especially if the team doesn't have tester and product managers are testing, which is very, very, very common practice. It somehow works, but it's not the optimal. After the stand-up, 15 more minutes, and on Tuesday we'll talk about how to optimize stand-ups as well. 15 more minutes for whatever is ready, either for tech review or has passed tech review and is ready for testing. As a team, demonstrate it, bring what could go wrong mentality to every feature, to a feature that is already there. What could go wrong with that feature? And it's much more easier when you do it on something that is ready or about to become ready than on a user story level. And you already saw how much we come up with on a user story level. So it's a small hint. We'll talk about it someday more, but I wanted it to mention because so now knowing all these qualities and what could go wrong practice, you can do that on a daily basis for every feature, and that will definitely, again, make you come up with potential production bugs before it goes to production. And it will engage the entire team. Again, use the wisdom of the team, the skills of the team to come up with potential problems. All right. Yes. Any other questions? Dimitar, how do you feel?
Well, I see that you're recording the meeting, so I might be able to see it if you send me the recording or something. I haven't been able to join it since the beginning, but what I heard for the last minutes sounds really interesting and solid.
Thank you.
I really like your ideas, your approach, and I have just checked your LinkedIn profile here. So you seem to be having quite long experience in the QA world, and I'm looking forward to your next event. That's what I can say.
Thank you. This is very kind of you. I will definitely follow up and share whatever the recording, the presentation, some of the links, this tech review checklist that, and I will just take a note because I forgot to add it to the presentation. Also, join my Slack. This is, no, I should actually copy the link. Copy. I'll send you. Where's the chat? Chat. This is the chat. Join my Slack. Let's keep the discussion going. Ask me anything all the time. Free, no strings attached. I want to help, as really to share. Yes, I have 16 years in testing. Been there, done that for many things. Ask me anything. It could be a daily struggle. It could be something you wonder how to test. Anything. I am there online and will be happy to help. Really. So before I move, last thing is the feedback form. In the previous, I'm learning how to do this. So with the previous webinar, I didn't set the web form to be able outside of my organization, so nobody could enter it. This one should work. If you have any feedback or any topics you're interested, again, just welcome to Slack. Let's talk. We're a team already. And last but not least, so on Tuesday, sign up on Eventbrite. On Tuesday, we're going to talk about clean is fast. Why clean is fast? And by clean, I mean clean workflow, clean process, clean board, clean backlog, clean your mind, clean your desk, clean the clutter from your process, from the way you work, from your communication. Clean is fast. We'll talk about a lot of collaboration as well, and how working together as a team and collaborating live on task, what we did today, what could go wrong, sitting together with entire team for 2 hours, it's much more efficient than waiting for the tester to come with the bugs next sprint, then to get fixed and prioritize the sprint after, and etc., etc. How to come to shorter calendar times and shorter release cycles, even though you do continuous development. It will be short in delivery. It will be shorter and quicker and higher quality if you work more as a team actively and participating, doing more pair programming, more pair testing, mock programming. We'll talk about all of these fancy, fun, engaging practices that really help a team to bond and to deliver, to work as one and to work faster, to eliminate handovers and talking about making decisions in comments. I don't like this. I don't like a task or user story and then 2 scrolls of comments. This is not clean and it's not fast. And we'll talk about some metrics as well, like throughput, cycle time, and other interesting topics. And last but not least, why these webinars? Because I want to help as many teams. I want to share knowledge. I want to help teams not hitting the wall every time, but at least if if we help 10%, if 10% of my experience helps someone, that would be more than enough. I also try to launch a course on Maven. It starts on the first call. It's a so-called cohort-based course. The first one starts on November the 1st. I appreciate a share, if not a paid seat, because it's a big decision to enroll with the course. It's 3 weeks, 3 days each. We'll talk about a lot about software quality from various perspectives. Some of the things we've done here, but from the entire software development life cycle, defining the requirements, testing the software, making sure the process is efficient. So these 3 topics I'm launching these 2 weeks are 3 pillars of the course: how to start on the right foot with quality, how to proceed in a most efficient manner, how to release high quality faster. A small discount code. It's really for the fun of it. I'm experimenting a lot with this small marketing campaign of mine, but definitely take a look and get inspired for more topics, or take a look at the landing page. It's on maven.com. There's something could come up to your mind only from the landing page. I've tried to be very specific about the topic, and if you have questions, just contact me on Slack, and we proceed. I'm very interested in learning more about any struggle you have about software quality, and I'll be there to help. Okay, that's the most important things. Thank you. 15 minutes more on Friday. It's morning for Joanna. It's already, I'm sure it's evening for Dimitar, unless you're in Los Angeles as well.
No, I'm in Plovdiv.
You're in Plovdiv, awesome, my favorite for Plovdiv.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions, send me on any of the channels right there. I'm here. And I hope I'll see you more.
Yep, thank you as well. It was a pleasure seeing you and hearing some wise words from you. I was definitely thinking about contacting you over LinkedIn, but Slack works as well. So we will see how it goes.
Please do. Anyway, it's useful. And Joanna, I saw you've signed up for all of the webinars. I appreciate it so much. I hope you find it useful too.
Yeah, this was great. This is a really nice way to start the day. So I appreciate you doing this.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you. Let's keep the talking, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.